Hello, I'm Chrissy Seaton. Welcome to Part 3, Noahide Laws, Fact or Fiction. In the previous two videos, that would be Part 1 and 2, we spoke about the Psalm 117. We talked about Mount Sinai, where the 10 Commandments were given to the Jews, and the 7 Noahide laws were reiterated and given for all mankind. We also spoke about the force, that force within us that empowers us to follow God's path, to shed that light of the 7 Noahide laws. And we're going to continue on in this last part of the series and talk about the Noahide commandments and a little bit about the condemnation that you will hear sprouted at various places on the internet especially. But coming back to the facts now about the Noahide laws, or the Noahide commandments, people may often ask you, well, whereabouts is it in the Bible? They're expecting to see them listed 1, 2, 3, etc., just similar to how the 10 Commandments are listed in the Bible. Well, the fact remains that you're not going to find a list as such of the 7 Noahide commandments, one after the other. But as I have previously explained in other videos, if you go to the website mynoahidefamily.com, you will see a link to where you can find these sources for the 7 Noahide laws, as well as quite a good explanation of why they are applied. So, as I said, you're not going to see a list of thou shalt or thou shall, but you can see where the sources came from. The other thing I would just like to mention at this point is, if there were no previous laws given before the 10 Commandments, why were people punished? Why was the flood? That's a little bit confusing, isn't it? So one can only assume that there were already laws in place that people were expected to keep. Otherwise, they would not have been punished for supposedly breaking the law. Let me just give you a modern day example. When you're driving along the road, you will see there's all sorts of road signs, but particularly speed limits. And of course, if you break those speed limits, you're going to be punished in some way. You're going to receive a fine, etc. So imagine if there were no road signs, there was no speed limits. So you think, oh, well, there's no limitations, no guidelines, so I can just spear along this highway at any speed I like. But then a policeman pulls you over and says, Madam or Sir, you were speeding in excess of blah, blah, blah. You would be within your rights to say, no, you can't punish me for that. You didn't tell me or show me that I could drive at only X miles an hour here, or the speed limit's reduced to, 60 here, 40 there, whatever. There were no signs. I had no guidelines. There were no laws about speeding. So do you see where I'm coming from? There had to be laws, and there had to be a knowledge of those laws. Otherwise, the punishment would not have been fair, would it? Just reminding you again, go to the website www.mynoahidefamily.com, and there is quite a few links there, and I will be uploading some more links as well for you to seek out this information. So why do we have this condemnation about the 7 Noahide laws? Well, number one, it's founded in anti-Semitic behaviours, beliefs and thought. Number two, it's usually cultivated through intellectual ignorance. It's fertilised with lies and half-truths, and then promoted by conspiracy theorists as an academic research conclusion. Uh, you know, that's how they do it. So that's the short answer. But what we need to do now is ask ourselves, where do they find this information? What is the source of their information? Do these conspiracy theorists read, speak, or write fluent Hebrew? Have they studied the Torah? Do the conspiracy theorists even access a copy of a Torah, especially a transliterated one, in case they don't speak Hebrew? They can read the text in English. Do they ask rabbis for advice or information? Now, I'm not talking about pretend rabbis. I'm talking about authentic, orthodox, learned rabbis. Do these conspiracy theorists conduct intellectual debate, or do they even participate in any form of intellectual debate? Well, the answer can be summed up this way. Conspiracy theorists never go to the authentic source of information. They create this web of intrigue that feeds the curiosity of the naive. The conspiracy theorists hide within their own web of deception, and they do that because they will never expose themselves to accountability. You can be guaranteed about that. So, the takeaway message from this video is to please just ignore the conspiracy theorists. Don't give them airtime. It's a waste of time. It truly is. Follow the path of the one true God, and we do that through the 7 divine Noahide commandments given to us by God, and again reiterated at Mount Sinai for all mankind to observe. Allow prayer to be that force within you. Please think clearly about this. Help shine the light to other people. I will talk to you again soon. It's been a pleasure to be with you. God bless you all. Bye.